When I was at school, I was very fortunate to find myself under the tutelage of an incredible man a man named Chris Nicholson, who was a teacher I only ever met one like that, and the impression I've got is that most people will never have the chance to be around someone who saw education as a vocation, the ultimate vocation, and one that he lived with such total dedication to his pupils. It was a remarkable and inspiring thing. And when I joined this particular school, he used to do assemblies 2 or 3 times a week, and one of the assemblies that really made a massive impression on me and lasts with me to this day was one of Shakespeare's poems, Sonnet 116. And it is the only piece of poetry that I know off by heart, and I would not claim that my reading of it would be of any worth in terms of, there's lots of people that have recited this poem online, and the reason I'm going to record this film is because the meaning of this poem is just so awesome. I think it's worth sharing, because in this poem, in this sonnet, Shakespeare attempts to define love and makes a very strong statement at the end of the piece to kind of show how much he believed in what he was saying. The sonnet goes, "Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love that alters when it alteration finds, nor bends with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose worth's unknown although its height be taken. Love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Love alters not with his brief hours or weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. If this be error, and upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved." Now, for anyone who's not familiar with the poem, it might not be entirely clear what that says, and I will link or maybe splice into this film a paraphrasing that I've downloaded about this, but I'd like to share with you my thoughts about the piece, that as I remember it was shared with me. Love, let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Apparently here Shakespeare was talking about how his opening statement is homosexuality, true minds, like minds, let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Homosexuality applies to everything that I'm going to say about love. It's no different to any other form of sexuality. Love is something that goes beyond sexuality. That's his opening line. Love is not love which alters when it alteration finds. Is that self-explanatory? It's not because there's a bend in the road that love is going to curve around it. Love is this thing which is straight and true. It doesn't alter when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. It's not because someone decides in their head that they don't want to be in love with someone anymore that it's over. True love is something which is immutable, immovable. It doesn't bend with the remover to remove. Oh no, it is an ever fixed mark. It's like a star in the sky that looks on tempests and is never shaken. No hurricane on this earth can move it. It is the star to every wandering bark. A bark was a ship, whose worth's unknown, although its height be taken. So, though we're able to measure the height of that star in the sky, we have no idea about the distance that it is from the earth, or at least they didn't have then. So, although it's unmeasurable, you can't quantify love. It's very clear where it is. Love's not timesful. This is talking about old father time. Love is not timesful. Love is not tricked by time. Though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Though love might be cut short by old father time's sickle. Although it may be cut short, love alters not with his brief hours and weeks. Love is this immutable, durable, forever type affair. Love isn't something which just comes and goes. You don't fall out of love with someone. This modern concept of love is a permanent thing. And once you truly love someone, that's it. They can't ever not have a place in your heart. Love alters not with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom. To the very end. Doom. And then finally, his statement, which just is, he's getting his balls out here. If this be error, and upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved. If I've got this wrong, and you can prove it to me, it's like I've never written a word. It's like Shakespeare at this moment is stacking his whole work's credentials on the line on this one poem, which suggests that he felt pretty strongly about this. Now, this poem, throughout my life, throughout my marriage, has enabled me to keep a very clear perspective on what it is when I say to someone, I love you. I love you, for me, is something which will never change. It's not something that's going to go out of fashion for me. When I say I love you, there's nothing that you could do that would make me not love you any longer. I can find a place where I can forgive anything that someone would do to me or to anybody else, because I know that where they're doing wicked things, it's out of loss and out of fear and out of sufferation. So anyway, these are my thoughts on this beautiful poem, and I'd like to thank Chris Nicholson for having indoctrinated me in the ways of love. And that set assembly is something I will never forget, and I will hold that very close to my heart for the rest of my life.